Hi, my name is Edwin. I'm a big Squid Game fan. I'm excited to be here, ready to take on this challenge. Let's see what we could do.
Hey, hi, I'm Pally and I'm biggest fan of Squid Game. I'm so excited.
Hi, my name is Mariel and I'm so excited for this challenge because I've watched Squid Games 3 times now and I'm going for my 4th.
Hey, my name is Roberto and I'm the biggest Squid Game? Hey, my name is Roberto and I'm the biggest Squid Game fan. Personally, I think I'd beat the whole game, but we'll see.
Hello, my name is Jade. I'm the biggest Squid Game fan, and I'm so excited to answer all the Squid Game and K-pop related questions that the hosts have prepared for us. All right, here's everything that we have prepared for the DALGONA cookie challenge.
We got the baking soda, we got the sugar.
We got our super hard cookie cutter and some measuring cups.
All right, so we're gonna start off by putting 3 tablespoons of sugar into our pan, and then we're just gonna let it melt and mix, all right? One, a lot of sugar. Got 2, and we got our 3rd one. Now we wait. All right.
All right, the first question we have is, why do fans love K-dramas?
I think fans love K-dramas because they have a wide variety of themes so they can appeal to different audiences. They're also very dynamic and maybe different than what people are used to watching. And I think personally that's why I liked watching Squid Game. It was a type of show that I had never watched before, so it was very interesting and entertaining.
So as you see, the sugar is starting to melt, and we gotta constantly move it so it doesn't stick to our pan, and so we could get a good consistency to make the DALGONA cookies.
You're such a pro.
All right, so as you can see, all of our sugar has melted, and we have a good consistency, and we could melt it and start adding our baking soda.
I'm putting in 1/8 of baking soda. Woo. There we go.
Mix.
All right, so I'm mixing
Wow,
it.
wow, wow.
Wait,
trying
that
to
looks
create-
good.
Yeah, that was.
The main goal in cooking the DALGONA challenge is to keep mixing. If not, you're not gonna get what you want. As you can see, I've done this plenty of times, as I am the biggest Squid Game fan. All right, so we're pouring it. Whee! We're gonna do 1,
It looks like caramel.
And
and then we're
then
gonna go 2. We'll try to make 2.
With a spoon. You need a spoon.
I got it.
You sure?
Yeah.
I'm scared this is gonna stick.
Wow, wow.
Oh,
Oh,
So as you can see, the first attempt did not work. All right, while we wait for Edwin to make cookie number 2, I'll ask you a few more questions on the theme of K-dramas. So the second one is, what are the differences in Squid Game versus other K-dramas we watched for our class?
So comparing it to Lovers of the Red Sky, I watched plenty of episodes of that one. I think the main difference is well, there's not a love interest in Squid Games, and Lovers of the Red Sky revolves a lot around the love interest, and then also the element of mystical creatures and magic and stuff like that. I feel like Squid Games was more real, not real, but real and bloody and gruesome, and the other one was fairy tale-ish.
And the next question is, what made Squid Game rise in popularity so quickly?
With Squid Game being on Netflix and Netflix so widespread throughout the world, everyone had access to it, and with everyone doing challenges on the internet and on TikTok, it just became super popular really quickly.
So now moving on to the theme of pop culture. If you're a new audience for watching K-drama, what do you think about this television show? And what aspects is it new to you?
So I had never previously watched a K-drama in my life. Squid Game was the first K-drama I ever watched. And I had just thought that K-dramas were cheesy, almost like soap operas, so I never watched them. But I was really pleasantly surprised that like Squid Game had a really bizarre concept that like played into capitalism and like societal structures in like our own world. So yeah, it was really interesting. Did that even answer the question?
How do you relate the show to our society's problems?
So similar to Jay said, I do feel related about like Squid Game do like connected with our like social burden issues. Seems it's pretty interesting that I found out there's a report like South Korea actually had the highest suicide rate over the globe, and I was like, oh, shocked about that, but you can see, literally can tell from the TV show, like people really are broken, and a lot of them carry actually heavy burden on them. So why they join this game, fight for their money. So it definitely reflects some points like Korean government didn't do well, like manage their economics or some kind of other crisis. Yeah. I think it's gonna look like it.
Okay, just flip it.
Flip it on.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Put it down.
No.
No.
No, not that much because you're gonna break it. That's
Okay.
it.
Oh,
All right.
Oh, no. Okay.
Alright, so this is my first attempt at making our dalgona. We kind of like did something different, but this is the best we've got, so we're gonna go for it. I'm gonna start by trying to not die and cut it out.
So a question I have is under the theme of masculinity. How was masculinity portrayed differently in Squid Game compared to American dramas?
So the big difference I saw in Squid Game was just how vulnerable all the men were in the show. You know, I saw that they were at their lowest points, and that's really something you don't see in, I'm kind of getting it. In American just dramas or television or films. I feel like in American, growing up with it, I always thought it was just purely muscles, brute strength. You don't really see men crying unless they're about to die or something like that. But in K-dramas, at least in Squid Game, you could see the men crying, and it's something that we weren't exposed to in the American scene. And in K-dramas, there was multiple scenes in which we saw that. I'm gonna keep going. So obviously, I died, but I'm gonna be back. I'll be better than ever.
Do any of the Squid Game characters fit into the Chinese interpretation of the ideal Wen male?
I'd say that Chow Sang-woo fits into the Wen traditional Chinese male because he's very scholarly, and it was said in the series multiple times that he went to university, and that is basically what Wen means in Chinese culture, that the men are very scholarly and have a lot of skills.
Describe how the triumph of the underdog is displayed in Squid Game.
So in Squid Game, you see the main character. He starts off, you see him living with his mom. He's not very respected in society. You know, he can't even take care of his daughter. And as the series goes on, you see him kind of grow as a character. Starts to gain some respect from other the contestants, and by the end of the series, he ends up winning. He's as the underdog.
Yeah. On the theme of snack culture, it's a two-part question. The first part is, can you explain what snack culture is?
Yeah, definitely. Well, after like all this, I understood what snack culture is. So really quick, like snack culture is something that is fast, easily accessible. It's something or it's media that's really accessible, just at the tip of your finger. You know, you could be driving home and you could quickly see a video or read an article on your break, things like that, and you get exposed to different type of media. And I didn't know that it's something that we could do in our daily lives, right before bed or things like that. And that's basically what snack culture is, and most people aren't aware of what they're doing, but that's what it is.
And then the second part is, were you aware that as a modern day technology user, you were participating in snack culture? Oh, I guess you already answered that.
No. So I didn't know what snack culture was. It was something that I did in my daily life. I could be doing with my friends. I could be walking my dog, even though I don't have a dog. But it's something that I'm not aware of. And I feel like most people, like I said, aren't aware of the snack culture, and they don't know how easily exposed things could be just by scrolling through Instagram, TikTok, things like that. And it creates an exposure to different things like K-dramas, and I think that's amazing. All right, Jade, when it comes to media consumption, do you prefer print or digital media, and why?
I definitely prefer digital media over print format, just because I feel like it's what our generation is really used to. All of the social media platforms like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, they're all so easily accessible for us. And I feel like nowadays more news is portrayed on those social media platforms than print layout.
We need to let it rest a little bit. Okay. Ooh,
It's perfect.
so good. Whose turn is it to play?
So when it comes to snack culture, spending time daily with the story and characters can increase the emotional attachment that the audience has to the plot and characters. So for you personally, do you feel more drawn to shows and dramas that build a connection between the audience and the characters, or are you indifferent and value the plot more?
I personally don't feel related, but like I don't know about other audience over the globe, since there is like a diversity and like pretty much I don't care about the character itself, since we all have different personality. But I'm not sure about the global audience. They probably will feel related or just like get resonance or something. Yeah.
So under the topic of fandom, how has YouTube built fandoms for Squid Game?
Well, like as we saw in class, Mr. Beast obviously has a huge following on YouTube, and he recreated Squid Game on his platform, which really boosted the fandom, especially because he was giving away money like the show was. And other influencers on YouTube like James Charles got all of his friends together to recreate Squid Game in his backyard, and then they donated all the money to charity. So with these big influencers on YouTube making all of these recreations of Squid Game, they're really building the fandom and allowing the show to grow. Oh my gosh.
You definitely eliminate.
I definitely died.
What is that? Like,
Don't worry.
So the next question is, did you find any of the characters in Squid Game to be funny, and if so, why?
Yeah, definitely. I think the funniest person on Squid Game was Han Min Yao. It was, if you guys know, it's the crazy girl that, what's it called? I found funny personally that she was just like, when she got rejected by a guy, she went on to the next, like begging to like be on the team or like start dating them or something like that. I thought it was just crazy. Like, you're trying to win and you're over here doing other things. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I agree. I thought she was a funny character too. I think since she was like very like blunt and rude and like would say bad words, it was just like funny to me. And at the same time, I think she was like very smart, but I liked her character.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny how annoying she was. She was a little over the top sometimes. She had me laughing.
As discussed in class, human economy is a big theme. Please name a non-American show or movie that you found funny.
So in Korea, there's like a variety show called Running Man. They play serial games just like Squid Game, but it's more creative. So they like they show up like at the TV show every Sunday, I guess. It's pretty funny though. Like when people kind of feel stressed, just watch that like variety show. It just make you laugh. So I think, yeah, pretty much. I think that's like Korean variety show is pretty successful, and it continue being doing like probably 12 years so far. So which is really famous, even over the globe. Yeah.
And then something that I found funny was the show that we watched in class about the boss, Mr. Kim, that like was, I guess, gay and liked the intern in the office. It was funny how they portrayed that like love story and like love triangle. And yeah, the fact that the boss left his wife to be with this guy that wasn't interested in him, it was pretty funny.
Okay, and then a follow-up question. Was the humor dependent on understanding the culture and traditions of its place of origin?
At least for the show, I didn't really know like the origins of the show or anything surrounding it. I just thought that the comedy was like in and of itself funny within the show, so I'd say it's pretty independent.
So I hope you enjoyed our challenge. We decided to cover the themes that were the most engaging and fun for us throughout the semester, and that's what we chose to talk about.
As you can see by this plate of broken cookies, none of us successfully were able to do the Dalgona cookie challenge, but we had a lot of fun filming this and doing our interview as Squid Game fans.
Yay!
Yeah.